Hamjambo tena. Today is a very special day. Tulianza asubuhi na mapema in a meeting with the National Syndemic Control Council ambayo inashughulikia mambo ya the triple threat. And I'm very happy today to come and celebrate this very important day as we inaugurate the Kakamega County Children Policy 2023. Children are an integral part of our society. The fact that they are vulnerable in a society of fluctuating values, however, puts a very heavy responsibility on all of us to anchor their welfare in policies and laws. This is the only way of guaranteeing their welfare and securing their rights on this world. And this underscores the importance of this policy, a key set of principles that will stipulate our responsibility as residents of Kakamega County to our children. Ladies and gentlemen, children aged between 5 and 19 years make up to about 42% of the population in Kakamega County. This is a huge population for which we should diligently plan for us to ensure that the inalienable rights are protected and their needs are also met. A study carried out in 2022 put the birth rate in our county at 61, 442,000, which translates into 2.5% and about 1% above the national average. Ladies and gentlemen, this translates into a huge children population which may pose serious challenges. And these challenges include a possible high rate of growth of street children in our towns, high prevalence of poverty, and teenage pregnancies. There are several legal and policy instruments which speak to this responsibility and which protect the rights of the child. These include the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, the African Charter on the Rights of the Child, the Children's Act of 2022, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the articulation of children issues in the Vision 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, as a county, we have developed a composite policy that bears full allegiance to instruments of superior jurisdictions, such as the United Nations, while addressing the unique challenges of children in our county. For this reason, I would like to applaud my officers, led by my CEC for Children and Gender, Bwana Moffat Mandela, who has worked tirelessly to develop this cardinal document. It is a splendid job indeed. Bwana Mandela and your team, well done. Wapigiwe makofi. Kakamega County Children Policy 2023 has 4 pillars, each of which represents a dimension of our responsibility to the child. These pillars include: number 1, child survival; number 2, child protection; number 3, child development; and lastly, child participation. The various forms of abuse that children suffer from are precipitated, and also the social and economic challenges. In our communities, we have dysfunctional families headed by parents who are stressed or even depressed. In such cases, children may grow without parental love because the parents are incapable of extending such love and affection. We have also children born out of wedlock and for some reason, they have not been embraced by parents or other relatives who can show practical affection and care for them. My dear people, these are crimes, these are times of much social upheaval, to the extent that even family breakups are taken so casually. Differences between parents are handled as if children do not matter. This calls for us to go back to the basic family and human values. Beyond ourselves is what we call posterity. Our legacy as human beings will be determined by how well our children represent us. Ladies and gentlemen, there are still some of us who put so much pressure to our children to excel beyond their ability. The effect is that the child starts seeing themselves and or looking at themselves as being inadequate and failures. If we are not careful, this may make children to abuse drugs, alcohol, and they may develop psychological problems. Let me appeal to you, particularly parents, to embrace and love our children. This should even be more for children born with certain physical and mental challenges. The Kakamega County Children Policy 2023 aspires to safeguard all the children regardless of their capacity or the physical and mental potential they exhibit. Ladies and gentlemen, in our development programs as a county, we are sensitive to the needs of our children, and more so, those with vulnerabilities and challenges that push them on the margins of social development. We are encouraging our ECD centers to integrate children with special needs in their activities. Our officers dealing with built environment are instructed to ensure that buildings are friendly to children with physical challenges. As a county, we intend to put up childcare centers to accommodate children living outside the fold of the warmth of a family. We also hope to have disaster centers to ensure that the homeless children and child victims of conflicts and other natural disasters are well taken care of. In short, my leadership is striving to provide a homely environment of warmth and care in spite of the strained budgets we are operating on. I therefore call upon our schools to enforce the national government policy on teenage mothers. These girls should be given or allowed to continue with their education. In this regard, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely appreciate the Office of the First Lady for developing and implementing initiatives that give teenage mothers a chance to go back to school. And the girl was promised to give us an A of 84 marks. I want to assure you that when you deliver, your education will be sponsored by Kakamega County. Going forward, I look forward to seeing proper legislation across counties to give the officers of the First Lady's facilitation for programs and initiatives such as this. With particular regard to our teen mothers who are going back to school, I urge school administration to ensure strong guiding and counseling systems in their schools to offer psychological support to these girls. My dear people, I also want to call upon our national and county government officers to ensure that policies, including the Kakamega County Children Policy 2023 and other legal instruments that guarantee the welfare of our children, are enforced. We have had cases of collusion of parents, teachers, the clergy and officers in internal security in abating crimes against children. Like the recent cases we've had in Hoisero and Matungu, I want to call upon all the law enforcement officers to ensure that action is taken against all the perpetrators so that this becomes a lesson to the will-be perpetrators. Where will our children go if those charged with protecting them are on the side of criminals? That is the big question. Let all officials expected to support children do their bits, and whoever commits a crime against a child should be given a deterrent punishment in accordance to the law. As your governor, I assure you of my steady support to initiatives that support the welfare of children. And once more, I call upon each one of you to be a caregiver, a true parent, or even a foster parent to the child next to you. With all these remarks, it is now my humble duty and pleasure to officially declare the Kakamega County Children Policy 2023 officially inaugurated.